Good afternoon, VGA family and friends, and welcome to the 2025 Veteran Golfers Association Armed Forces Cup Championship, coming to you live from world-class Champions Retreat Golf Club here in Evans, Georgia. This is truly a special venue, featuring 9 holes designed by golf legends Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, and Gary Player. And today, we are bringing you exclusive coverage of the event from the Palmer course's iconic par 3 eighth hole. This championship is proudly presented by our friends at Navy Mutual, a steadfast supporter of our veterans and their families. We are incredibly grateful for their continued partnership in helping us honor service through the sport of golf. The competition is going to be fierce today, ladies and gentlemen. The stories are powerful and the camaraderie is unmatched. These aren't just golfers out here today. They're warriors, veterans, and proud members of the VGA, each representing their branches and their journeys with pride. And bringing you every swing, strategy, and storyline from the booth today are two voices you probably know from the VGA inside and out. It's myself, Kevin Pry. I'm the VGA's North Region Director, and sitting next to me, VGA co-founder Joe Cayley. Joe, welcome.
Kevin, great to be back with you again this year, and thanks to the folks in College Golf Network for being able to bring this live stream to our viewers at home. Uh, it's a little bit of a later start in the day. We had a little bit of weather come through the Augusta area the last few days. A little bit cooler weather as well, Kevin. It's 66. The fairways are a little softened. I'm not sure if the greens are soft, but from what I hear, the competition is still pretty close out
Yeah, we're going to be picking up coverage, Joe, pretty much halfway through the first round of this event, and I can tell you, from based on what we're seeing with scoreboards here, very, very close matches, which is great. It's what we want to see
exactly.
starting off day one. I know Danny and the staff over with the Golf Genius setup have worked very hard to ensure that all the matches are as close as they can be, given that this is a handicapped event for all of our players. And so we're really looking forward to seeing how the competition shapes up here over the next couple of days. Just a couple of reminders for all the folks who are going to tune in and watch this event on Facebook Live and YouTube. This is a 2-day match play event where our 5 branches will go head to head in a match play format. Each team has 10 players that are representing the VGA from across the country and are paired against members from the other branches based on their skill level or handicap index that they establish here in the VGA. And so today's the first day where parents will go out, and the second day we'll kind of do a repair and see how things shape up. And Joe, 5 years in, we've had nothing but great competition here.
That's right. That's right. And for most of you at home know that the United States Air Force team was the victorious team last year, 2024 here.
Yep.
Part of that, we had the Army had back wins, and last night during the party and the reception, each of the teams got some pretty inspirational messages from their honorary team captains, for mix of generals and admirals, and getting their teams hyped up, and um, I know talking to Josh, being president of the VGA, he and I were kind of looking at the teams, and Josh was like, "Wow, the Air Force team looks pretty strong again this year." So but we'll see. You know what? You never know how people, they play once they get out here, right? And Kevin, you've played in this event, and you know what
Yep.
it's like. You get out there on that first tee, uh, and understand who you're representing and who you're playing for and with. You have some nerves to
Oh yeah.
overcome and whatnot. But the
Yeah.
again, you're a Champions Retreat, though we've got quite a bit of rain the last few days. The course looks phenomenal.
It does. It really does. Yeah, we were out there earlier today with, I think they've had at least 3 inches of rain in the last 48 hours. It's a big shout out to Champion, the staff, and all the work that they've done to get the course where it needs to be for this event. So, like you said, Joe, we have some motivated players. I think the Marine Corps remains undefeated with their speeches. I know they were fired up last night, but like you said, we had some really good inspirational words from our honorary team captain for all the branches. Um, So as we get into the event here, we're going to kind of go through each of the teams quickly and kind of give a shout out to each one of the players and the teams. We'll start with the Army team. Great news here, for the VGA and for our family. We've got our first female captain in Joyce Greenleaf leading Team Army, um, trying to take the cup back for the third time.
That's correct. I had a chance to speak with Joyce the night that she arrived when she was checking in. Congratulated her on being the team captain. It was neat to see that she had brought some team gifts for her squad. And then she had like 900 something points.
Oh yeah,
You know,
Joe, that's actually a good point. And that's another reminder, I think, for everyone that the amount of time and effort that these players have put into qualifying for the cannot be understated. Right?
that's
They
right.
they go throughout the season, which starts September 1st through August 31st, and they play basically as many events as they're able to stomach. And for Team Army, Team Air Force, some of our bigger branches, these people are playing over 100 events in a year to try to qualify for this event, which is just purely incredible.
That's right.
Really shows their grit.
Exactly.
Yeah, but great Army team. Next in the queue is our Marine Corps team, led by Doug Gerwolf. We've got some returning players here, some folks that have had some experience, also some new folks. I know I can speak for the North region, seeing Jeff Duncan on the board, extremely experienced match play player, had a lot of experience in the VGA, knows the ropes. So I think that's a big asset for the Marine Corps.
Yes, and speaking with Doug last night during the dinner, he was fired up, very motivated. Had a chance to run across him throughout the year at different PGA events, and what a great captain the Marine Corps has this year.
Yep, yep. Excited to see how they respond. And that's our first year. Our first iteration of this event back in Pinehurst. Marine Corps was the first one to take it, so I'm sure they're looking to get back on it. We'll move over next to the Navy, captained by first time Captain Jacob Miller, state director out of Delaware. Extremely proud to be here. Um, we've got four ladies joining this team for this event, which is absolutely outstanding. They are excited. They're excited to be here. They were making some noise last night during the party,
They were.
representing not only the Navy but our lady contingent here in the VGA, and so really excited to see how they'll be doing taking on the course here over the next couple of days.
That's right, and it's good to see a returning face for the Navy in Debbie Malakowski from Ohio. She actually played in this event 2 years ago. And earned some points for the Navy. Her smart play during her time here. So, she brings in some experience, a little bit of leadership, and I know her and her husband, they also travel quite a bit and play in multiple states all
Yep.
and so it's great to see that, she's earned her way back on the Navy team here.
Absolutely. Looking forward to seeing how the Navy can respond. I know the Navy's very hungry. Them and the Coast Guard, they want they want a chance at the cup here. So I'm sure they're excited. All right, let's go to our defending champions, the Air Force team. Got again, like you said, some returning faces here. A couple of folks who received their 2024 championship hardware last night, which they were extremely excited about. Fresh, again, new captain Jerry Martin coming up from the region. Joe, I'll tell you, that was qualifier. That was a hotly contested qualifier, if I remember correctly. But then, uh, purely representing what this organization is about, after Jerry took the W, he invited Ray Brown to come down and compete because Ray would have missed it otherwise. So, just an unbelievable show of camaraderie and friendship to bring that type of person into the fold after a tough competition. Tough
Yeah, oh yeah.
competition. It really represents what the VJ is about.
That's right. That's right. And Jerry obviously having a lot of faith in, some of the VGA members, that he's had a chance to get to know and play with, hopefully Ray Brown, is able to reciprocate, the nod coming on and getting a for Jerry. And
Hmm.
also, you got Howard Harmon, who's returning member from last year's Air Force Championship team. So Howard, the last few days, a lot of y- confidence in his game and
Yep.
demeanor around here.
That's good. That's what you got to have. You got to come in confident. If you're
Yeah,
coming confident, you get. off the jump. All right, last but not least, Joe, I'll tell you, this is my pick. My pick is Coast Guard, even though I'm an Air Force guy. These are the most experienced players I think we've had at this event. Admittedly, the Coast Guard has a little bit of a limited selection pool, but listen, that doesn't mean they're not here to compete. Bryce Heaton returning for the fourth time, I believe, as team captain, so he knows the ropes. Got Matt Bailey, Tyre Bowden coming out of the North region, two people I know very well, also very experienced here. Some new faces, certainly Ashley Ulbrich was great to see come in,
Yeah.
representing the Coast Guard, and so listen, I think just like the Navy, they're ready to go. And ready to go.
I think we always kind of joke with the Coast Guard with their selection pool,
Yeah.
but and also their level of talent, their handicap levels are pretty darn good,
Yep.
and it makes man, how many golf courses are on Coast Guard bases? These guys can play, and ladies,
Yep. Yep.
and you're right, they are hungry, and hope hopefully one of these days they, you know what, I'm I'd love to see the Army get it back just because of those Army,
I know that. I know that.
but we have to put those biases aside and, and you know what? Let these matches unfold out on the course. We got the easy part side here to watch South the footage, and looks like we got our first
Yeah, I
golfer
got
off the tee.
I believe. All right, so folks, we're going to go over to the par 3/8 here. This is, I believe, David Jackson on the Air Force team, currently two up in his match, playing this par three. It's about 130 yards from the white box, playing to a front right end. You can see there the ball kind of rolling off to the back. That's not going to hurt him. The danger here is short.
It
There is a
is.
creek.
Exactly.
And I'll tell you, I went out there today just to get the yardages. I've already seen probably 4 or 5 players having to repeat to get back over this. So this is a difficult part.
Exactly. Pretty daunting just because you have to go this Little John River that flows into the Savannah River, and next year on the tee
Who do we have
is
here?
playing competitor.
Sorry, that might have been Navy and Alfred. This might be Rick. It's a nice swing there.
Swing.
Yep. Might have been short right. We'll see what he does. So this yeah, okay. So this is Rick. That was Rick. That was on the Coast Guard team. This is Alfredo Medina. Yeah, Navy, right? Yes, that's right. Yep. So this is a tight match. Navy's one up in this match right now, and listen, if they can get it over the water onto that right side of the green, pin is cut to kind of a little bowl today, Joe. Okay. So there's some scoring opportunities here. You got to get over the nerves. It's a very difficult shot. Looks like he's taking dead aim.
He is lined up right at it.
From there,
and looking at it.
See where it ends up here. Maybe off to the right a little bit. All right. Last but not least here, this looks to be an Army. This is Anthony. 2 down right now. Ooh, I don't know about that swing. Oh, like that makes me. Oh, there we go. Right in the center. Yeah, that's a good shot. Yeah, right. And listen, that's probably the strategy, right? If the player can get over and you get to the center of the green, get your 2 putts and get out of there.
That's
you got
right.
a par 5 this that you can take advantage of.
Yeah. So this green obviously has a slope right there in the middle. So if you hit in the middle, it's going to float back to the right.
Mm-hmm. This is going to be a re-tee. This is going to be the third shot for Rick. That one he's okay with. Tee up. Oh yeah, right in the dead center of the green. Sure, he would have liked to do that the first time. But as they say, Joe, the second golfer is always the better golfer.
That's right. That's right. On the water level here in the river is probably not too deep that a guy like you can go there and get it.
All right, so we're going to do leaderboard here, Joe. Again, pretty close matches. Very colorful leaderboard today here. We've got Air Force on the board. Kind of looking at the accurate results here. I'll pull them up. Um, let's see. Actually, let's start from the top of the Army. Right now, they're in at least 3 or 4 of their matches. Yeah, so even split there, up in a few, down in a few, tied in one. So not bad there. Marine Corps, same thing, up in 4, down in 4, tied in one. So this is what we expected, Joe.
Yep.
Pretty tight
Yep.
matches
Close.
across the board. Air Force team got it. Yeah, same thing. 4 or 5 up. Couple down. Actually, look at Air Force got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up right now.
Oh,
7
gosh.
matches they're up. But again,
Yeah.
one up, one up. I mean, that's nothing. Match play,
No.
things can fit.
No. But it's different because Air Force never really starts off day one.
Yeah,
Very well.
right.
You might be onto something.
And listen, last year,
Ah,
a bit of an anomaly. Honestly, they
yeah.
came back from I don't know how many it was down, 8 or 9 points down, with an absolutely freight train of the day.
On their second day, where they end up taking every match, right?
That's right. Yep. All right, this is going to be nice. Help folks at home kind of see how this screen sets itself up, where the camera angle is right now. Pretty severely downhill in the sense that there's some ridges that run kind of along the back of the green that'll push everything towards the front of the green, towards the water. Players do have to be careful with this putt here. It's going to come from James. It could be quite delicate, right? You've got to be mindful of the ridge that protects the pin in its current location. You also see kind of off the back there. This is going to be an interesting chip. Have to get up over this ridge just barely before it starts to run away from him. So we'll see how it goes here.
Yep. And he's coming out of that bunker.
Not a bad shot.
Exactly.
Not a bad shot.
That's a good spot to leave it there.
Yep, that was Alfredo's second shot, so in a good position for his par putt. Currently that's a really good spot for him to be in because his partner had to reach 8. So definitely has the advantage there. So this next shot comes down. And listen, players got a taste of the course today, but as you said, Joe, with the amount of rain that we've had, actually it's not been too bad today. Good luck today.
That's right.
Players are using these first 8 or 9 holes to really just kind of pull things out.
Yep, trying to gauge things out. So with this putt, there's a little drop off right at the color change right
up
there.
there.
Yep. It's end up going downhill, and
It's a pretty good putt.
that's a real good putt.
Yep.
All right. Well, our champions retreat caddies there, removing the pin flag.
Yeah, that's a good. Caddies out there today. Unlike if you were to come out here as a member or as a guest, the caddies are really only there to help guide the players around the course. Making sure they know where to go. That's not giving them any advice. Everything is done by themselves here.
Assisting and spotting balls where they.
Yep. So this is all on the players. Good putt run coming in here from Yancey. I think he just barely missed that shot, just off to the right a little bit. That's probably a tap in or a concession.
Let's see.
Yep, he conceded, so he picked up. And that's another thing I just worry about here in match play, unlike stroke play, because this is essentially a one-on-one format. If a player decides that they're out of a hole or their opponent has connected them on a hole, they can simply say that they concede. They can move on to the next hole, put it out of their memory, and get going.
That's right. That was briefed to them last night by our rules officials. So.
Yep, very lucky to have Andy Shumper, Monty Golf, PGA professionals here with us. This is a great putt coming in from Coast Guard team.
Correct.
Yep. Again, that's probably a concession because that was for his. What would that be? Bogey. He 1 in, 2 down, 3 over. Yeah, so that was in for his bogey. This will be Alfredo's par putt, I believe. I think we need this. This should be pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit down the hill here. Maybe move slightly to the right.
Oh.
Yep. Good putt.
Good putt there. I'd give it to him.
Yep. There
Yep,
you go.
there you go.
All right, and then to finish the James's putt. This will be his par putt after a great putt coming downhill. Oh, gotta think about it.
Take a step back. All right,
For
comes back.
many, I think for many of these players, you get used to the cameras out there.
Back steps into it. Stroke it.
Oh,
Just
to the right.
shaves
That'll
it.
be confusing.
Just shaves it on the right. Ah,
Got to put pushed holes there for I think both groups.
you see in the background the next group has on the green or on the tee box. See
Yep.
them
Yep.
looking across there. See some minors in the hands. But anyways, we got our first competitor.
First is off. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So next come up, actually, we got 3 North Region folks that I'm very familiar with. Matt Bailey, uh, Coast Guard member. He's also the assistant region director for the North Region and a former VGA New Jersey director. Extremely active in the VGA. He's playing a close friend of his, VGA Maryland director, Gary Chrysostomo. He is 3 up right now, straight. And then leading off right now is Mark Goldberg, VGA a Florida director. He's 5 up over Paul Wisniewski of the Air Force. So Bart's probably playing pretty good. See how this comes in. That's a great shot. Great shot from Bart. That's going to give him probably 20 feet going back down the hill. Can't be mad about that.
No, it's great spot to be in.
Yep. It looks like Paul's going to tee off next. Yeah, Joe, I don't know if you've ever seen Paul has a little bit of fame. Have you ever seen him hit his draw shot?
No.
Oh, man. I'm going to show you that. He basically turns around backwards and he can hit his shot, which ends up being a beautiful 4 or 5 yard draw. But it's a sight to see, and that's a great shot for Paul. That's going to be right next to Bart. Looks like maybe even inside of him. Hard to tell who's who's, but like we said, 2 shots in the middle of the green.
Exactly.
All right, Matt Bailey playing well right now. He's on a bit of a heater. This was tied, but it looks like he's going through the last 4 holes. See what type of swing he puts on it here.
That's definitely got a good game. He's been here before.
Yep. Yeah, he knows the ropes here. Oh, he got a hold of that one. That's okay. We just saw that putt.
Exactly.
You can roll that down the hill and have a hard no problem. So, Joe, while we wait for the next one to tee off, just so the folks at home know, Joe was queued up to play in this event this year. Joe, you want to talk a little bit about what happened?
Yeah, it was. I was selected by the Army team to play, and ended up having an emergency surgery on my right Achilles tendon on May 9th. You go in to see doctors on a Wednesday, and they said, hey, you know what, we have an OR waiting as it was near a tear or separation of my right foot Achilles, and it was a no-brainer. I was being a leg amputee, and I rely on my right leg, and so it was tough. Making that phone call, leaving the doctor's office. Actually, it's kind of funny. I ended up leaving the doctor's office. I called Josh, let him know Josh what was going on. That hey, we might have to look for a replacement for me. And on my way home, I actually had to stop at some National to go pick up some items, and it was like very kind of surreal. Like, oh, I am probably there.
That's not so bad.
But as much as I really wanted to be able to represent the Army team out here, it's so neat to see that was able to get the nod, and he was super excited, and some of you folks at home, you saw these posts.
Hey, I'm trying to
receiving
hit the
that
talk
phone
button.
call.
Hold on one second. There's a ball that went
I'm
over
so
my head.
happy
He's
to
first, right?
see him here. He's got a lot of excitement, I hope he cherishes this experience. But at the same time, I'm hoping he gets some points because I was telling that when I was a shoe-in for 2 games.
That's right. Listen, no one, no one on the planet ever will want to face you, Joe, in match play. You hit it dead straight, and you are a menace. So we're kind of hoping next year maybe you'll be back. We'll see how it goes.
You know what? Actually, to be honest, Kevin, I enjoy just being in the background and playing the very few limited times that I do. Because there are so many great
Let me know.
VGA members, as you alluded to earlier. But they play a lot of rounds. They put a lot of effort into their games and stuff like that. And so it was great to see that someone such as Jerry is be able to get this opportunity, and I'd love to
Yeah,
see more of that. Now we
yeah, he needs to get this up and
he
down.
does. Oh, check back, go in the hole.
No, Joe, but you're
Yeah.
making a good point. I mean, obviously, everyone here is extremely proud to be able to represent their branch. And listen, whether it's this event or really any time a veteran gets to be a part of something that represents the branch, they're excited. But this event has been particularly special for a lot of people. Not only, like you said, because there's a lot of time and effort and money into getting here, but a lot of people who come to this event are excited because of the people they get to see here, right?
It
Friends
is.
from around the country who know that they're out there competing. As we watch Matt Daly get to roll his foot down for his
On the
first
back,
birdie.
on the back of the green, he's gonna get up that shade area.
Yeah,
There's
maybe
a
a little
light
bit
and
much.
go downhill from there. Ooh,
Oh,
slow
that's
down.
got to slow down. All right, Joe. I think 2 or 3 days ago, that's going off the green.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
when we were out here on Thursday, getting things set up, man, they were moving.
with all this water, we didn't have to worry about having to roll greens. So, yeah, I think another big draw aspect for the Armed Forces Cup, teams is that this gives our members a chance again to be able to wear a uniform to represent a team, their
Yep.
branch, right?
It's
And
a nice putt from there.
it is hopefully
Probably leave him 5-6 feet for his bogey. It's all right. Matt's put himself well outside of game range.
that's
for
right.
Sure. Yeah. Speaking of those uniforms, Bill, another great partner of the VGA, Dun and Golf, Greg Barrel. He's actually done a fabulous job of outfitting these teams. As you can see here, we've got a good variety with the Army team having essentially the all black and yellow in there.
Yep.
Marine Corps got that really nice dark red and black. Art here might not be 20 feet and cut down. I would get a break it towards the water. Shoot the water, yeah. Here. How about it? Yeah, there it goes. That's right. That's all right.
That. So interesting. You saw probably the last foot that putt as the ball slowed down. Yeah, and it took a really sharp turn on them. That's the grains. Yesterday, I tried to tell all the players in their practice round, as they were getting ready to head out, hey, you have a line yardage report that each player has. When they're on the greens, head to the local caddy, have the caddy draw an arrow which way the grain goes.
Yep.
For players who aren't used to playing these type of greens here, grain probably doesn't play a lot into it until the ball starts to slow down. And then when it starts to slow down, that's when that grain
Yeah.
really moves the ball.
Yeah, it's so funny you said that. I went out earlier today to get the yardage for the event, and I had a caddy right here from Paul. That's going to be a tap in or a concession. I had a caddy walk up to me and asked me about that. He said, "Hey, listen, I don't think the players really understand just how much more so than sometimes the slope itself, particularly at the end, as you said, can really affect how the ball is going to roll." I was like, "You're right. Yeah, they probably don't. A lot of players don't play on this type of grass, and so coming into the championship, that could play a factor.
Definitely, definitely. And and again, this is something that,
Oh, look at these two
oh,
guys competing.
they did. Look at that, huh?
That was nice of them. They didn't want to get that on. Yeah, but don't worry, don't worry. I'll be asking about that after the after the round today.
What was that?
Yeah, those are what 5 foot putts that they didn't want to put on camera. I think their family members need to tune in and give them some talking to about that. But they'll move on to the par 5 ninth. See how that goes. Good camaraderie there.
That is, you know, yeah, move on to the next hole and, you know, yeah, so, you know, yesterday was kind of neat, you know, got some, you know, a large group of caddies that were out here helping out. And, you know, I know a few of them. You know, one of them was, one came over, he's a full-time caddy over at Augusta National. Yeah, he's another one of those that, you know, I told him, I said, make sure you kind of educate your practice group, you know, on the grain, and kind of explain it to them, you know, especially if they're not used to playing these southern type of greens.
Yep.
So.
Yep. All right, folks, we're going to take just a minute break here while we have a couple of come in. Our next groups are going to be Navy and Marine Corps, Coast Guard and Air Force. We got Ed Simmons and Tim Huber. Tim's one up right now, so that's a very close match. And look, we got another one behind that. Coast Guard with Mark Landry and Air Force being coming in here shortly.
I think PTSD has a negative connotation to it. When you hear it, it just gives you a funny feeling. I think that post-traumatic growth is positive. It's a positive way to say that there's hope for these veterans that come back from difficult times and from hard experiences.
I was injured on March 8th, 2012 in Kandahar, pretty early on, 18 days into my deployment actually, and stepped on an IED. I lost both of my legs and suffered a bunch of internal injuries, a broken pelvis. The legs are the most obvious injury, but the internal injuries were the most complicated and severe. So most of my military career was actually spent at Walter Reed in the hospital recovering. But I'm very proud I served and glad I served, and I'll do it again.
Distraction is the biggest thing that golf really does. It focuses your attention away from your problems and back onto something constructive, even if that constructive thing is just going out and having fun. As soon as you start having fun again, you're really making headways into depression and PTSD symptoms.
Right now, 22 veterans commit suicide every day. It's a staggering number. It's an epidemic. With golf and veterans, I don't know, like I said, I think it saved my life.
So when I went in the Army, I did 3 tours in Iraq. So my unit, we did convoy security. 2007, we were out on a mission, and my truck was hit with an IED and caused traumatic brain injury to me.
And then what happened?
In 2021, I was diagnosed with bone cancer. So now I got a different outlook on life. Every day I wake up, it's a blessing. Just to live my life and be happy and try to make others happy. The VGA is incredible. You know, the VGAs gave me life. So last year, I was a team captain for Army at the Armed Forces Cup, and leading my team to victory was one of the best feelings I've ever had in my life. And I've met people from every state, and I've got friends everywhere. And I love these guys. I love the VGA, what it represents.
We thrive on teamwork. And when we get out of the military, we are separated from our teams. We're together for 4 or 5 hours, golfing, laughing. Now you're my brother. It may keep a vet alive another day. That's why you have to have organizations like these. It's not about necessarily the golf. You get to be yourself finally. That's something a lot of vets haven't done in a long time.
A lot of men and women who serve around the country, they experience things that most human beings do not experience. And then they come back here and at times they feel lost. Veterans Golf Association is an organization that was created several years ago, and the purpose is that it's a community. Create this family around the great game of golf. And I think we all have an obligation to show the country what a veteran's all about. No greater way than the VGA.
Hi, my name is Josh Payton, and I'm the president of the Veteran Golfers Association. I would like to take a moment to personally welcome you to our VGA family. As a VGA member, you'll have access to over 300 local golf tournaments per year to compete against other veterans and their family members. Additionally, you will have the opportunity, like thousands of other VGA members nationwide, to qualify for our national championship each fall. This experience would not be possible without our sponsors and the tireless dedication of hundreds of volunteer state and regional VGA directors on your behalf. So please thank them for their hard work when you get the chance to do so. Although the VGA is a competitive golf league, the spirit of this organization is more about camaraderie than it is the competition. I would like to wish you the best of luck on your quest to become a VGA champion, but more importantly, I encourage you to meet new battle buddies along the way. While you're out on the golf course with other VGA members, take an opportunity to shake their hands and thank them for their service, like I'm taking this opportunity to thank you for yours. Again, welcome to our VGA golfing family. It truly is more than just a game.
And we are back.
Back on. Yep, back on. All right, we got a couple groups coming off the 7th green there. I think folks got a little bit of a view into that hole. That's a really cool hole too, Joe. By the way, that's a very short par 4.
Yep, pretty straight.
Yep, very straight. You know, that's kind of a risk reward, right? If you got the foot distance off the tee, you know, for some folks it might be drivable, but it also offers a ton of risk. You got essentially death on both left and right.
That's right.
So you've got to be very selective about what you end up doing there.
Yeah, you pull it right, you get a good chance of ending up in the river.
Yeah.
And then right, there's pretty large bunker complexes.
That's right.
You know, they're in the fairway there. You know, plus a severe downhill slope that area.
Yep.
All righty, so looks like we got
one of our caddies helping
there.
out here. He's going to be letting the players know the general yardage, which is completely okay. It's general information.
That's right.
The players, they probably all have their own tools to figure out what they want to do. But again, this is going to be a pretty close set of matches here. Navy, on the Navy side, Ed Simmons is taking on Greenfield Tim Huber. Tim, one up right now. And just a reminder, folks, if you guys want to watch the live leaderboard, you can check out the links on the VGA's Facebook page. Those links get updated as the players get new information, which we're very thankful for from our partner, Golf Genius. And actually, just now, as I was saying that, looks like the match between Air Force's Alton Levine and Coast Guard's Mark Landry is now tied, just up on that last hole. So Alton played a good par 4 7th, and he's going to have the honors as he tees next year.
Oh, I hope he's
a lefty here.
Yeah. A few little practice swings. Steps up into the ball.
Good cut on it. Did he get enough?
Look at this.
There we go. Right. That's going to turn on back.
Yep.
That's a great mistake, honestly. Like, just getting in that over the river.
That's right.
Getting into this.
That's right. You know, folks, staying dry is half the battle. That's a shout out to Bob. Some years past, you know.
All right, another lefty here. Got him right at the off here. Looks like he may be going a little bit further left than Alton was. We'll see. Put a nice swing on it.
You got good swing. Watching it approach in now.
Oh,
look at that!
Great shot. That's the first one we've seen to the right of the pin, I think. But as you can see, folks.
And it held.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yep. All right, we're going to kick it over now to Mark Landry. He's going to tee off first. The Coast Guard. Players are rocking new sets of shoes this week. We've got our partner Squares providing some patriotic red, white, and blue golf shoes, which are really nice.
Yeah, real sharp. Good swing on that.
Yeah, looks like he went after it. Off to the right. Forward. Potentially in the water. Oh. Yeah, got the cameraman looking down the slope here. All right, so we do have one member playing the red tees. That means he's one of our seniors. All right, he's made his club decision. I'll tell you, Joe, I think this is. Oh, wait a minute. No, we're just moving out. I actually think this is the scariest shot of this par 3.
A little shorter.
Yeah, a little bit shorter. You typically, I don't know how you feel, Joe. You get a short club in your hands, and you feel like you feel like you should, right?
Yeah.
And that's where all the trouble can happen. So we'll see how this one ends up. Looks like he threw that one up pretty high in the air. But I don't see it off the green. Yeah.
Let's see, is our camera camera crew.
Cameraman's walking the wrong direction.
That's right. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Got, oh boy.
So this is actually a really good shot. What you can see there is you can see the yellow hazard line.
That's right.
So this was a important topic from last night during our rules brief. Because that's yellow, the players now have an option. They can either re-tee or, in this case, as we can see, that what Edward's doing is he can move as far up to the hazard as he wants on the line of entry and drop. And he's elected to do that. He's elected to take probably 5 or 6 yards off the tee shot, get himself a little bit closer, and now he's playing his third. See how this goes. Man, he looks like he's armed way right. Pulled that left. Oh, big kick off.
Uh-oh.
Oh, did it take a bad bounce? Hard to know. Hard to know. He's walking back to his cart there, so he maybe it got over, maybe they can also concede the hole. They decide that's enough.
That's right. That's right. And again, that making shots on such a cool, I guess short par 3, and you get a wedge in hand. Yeah, a lot of people feel like they can take a nice, easy swing and they can get in trouble.
That's right, and that's what I'm saying. Those wedges, right?
Yep.
You feel like, wedge at the end, I can just knock this up there. Mind and of course have different, different thoughts there.
That's right. Especially you hit especially on this part here. There is a little bit of wind. That really blows along this river. That ball gets up over the trees. Drop it, knocks it down quick. Looks like he got a
ball set. That's one of our PGA professionals, Monty Golf. He's been out there all day.
Titleist too.
Understand
Pick it up.
what options they have.
That was your first one, though, right?
Looks like Monty's trying to explain, hey, you got a really
I thought that was his.
situation
Okay,
here.
I'm tracking now.
I'm
Where we're at.
guessing they're going to pick it up. And
We don't get to see great shots.
I
We don't
would
get
like
to
to
what
see
they're
that. Absolutely.
Play out of there.
It was invented.
Or maybe they
I
can
know where it was.
place it. Okay, in this case
where
right here,
it
the
went.
ball was in the penalty
Monty's
area. Ball right here,
Monty's
you would have to play it
getting his
as
loudmouth
okay,
pants.
as is embedded.
Monty Rock seems to represent the loudmouth pants every time he.
He's got something else.
Actually, be
They
quick.
put on the holidays.
It was half. It had plugged and then come part
back
of
out.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's a hazard area.
Right, exactly. But I mean,
And
but
he
the
would
thing
have
is,
to go
you would
back
have been
this
able to
way.
Yeah, so you can see the
Yeah, it was that
competitor
side
kind of
there.
You'd
blink.
have to go back.
You would have to figure out what you were doing.
Yeah,
but
yellow.
it-
I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to want to.
Oh, that's fine. I leave him the hole.
Exactly.
And see some of us getting into the act.
I think we have 2 shots in the bunker, right? Is that what's up first?
Oh, that's a tough one.
It is a tough one. Yeah, you really have to think about what you do, because at the end of the day, even though it is you want to keep momentum going, like keep the strategy and the good feelings on your side as you try to take on different aspects of the course. Certainly, for example, right here, we got all long coming off a win on the last hole.
Right.
He's got to be thinking, how do I lag this down to give myself a short putt?
That's right.
This will be a good view too. I think this one's going to run probably from his right to his left and then downhill. Like good view here.
Yep. Okay, here goes the putt.
Yep, see.
Going down. It's gonna,
Oh, it did turn a little bit to his right. That's not a bad putt. What do you think? 5? No, that's less than that.
Yeah.
Going back. Knee knocker. Oh, a little bit of a knee knocker. if his playing partner does.
Yeah.
Oh, looks like a nice stroke. And hard. Oh, is that going to be good?
Oh, look at it.
Could be
Hands
good.
up. Hands up.
Oh, fish. What a great putt.
He was ready to celebrate.
A couple of inches there.
Ah.
Very nice. I think, Joe, this evening, assuming the rain holds off, we'll see a lot of players after the round get back out onto those greens, on the practice green, just trying to get that speed.
Yeah, trying to figure out. Yep.
And like you said, the grain too. That also plays a big role, not only in the slope of the putt, but also the speed of the putt. Right, that all here. Going for his par to tie the hole, just like.
Oh my goodness!
Just a bit outside.
Yeah, just out on the back.
Oh, that's good sportsmanship
yeah,
there.
couple guys
Yep.
smiling.
Okay, so those two done. Here's the what is going on with Tim and Edward. We know Edward is east into his third shot. Oh, it looks like those guys. Oh, they may have just conceded to each other. Good is good.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We probably say, "Hey, dry."
Yeah. Let's move on to a less watery hole.
Well, good for them.
Yep.
You know, not making it any harder on themselves, and you know.
Well, they were hitting the other way too, just for fun.
Sure.
I think that's the other thing too, Joe, is match play offers a lot of flexibility in how each individual can approach the game, but also how the competitors approach. You guys have left at that hole. No reason to stay around.
Exactly.
Pick up, move on.
Yeah. Take those extra few minutes, you know, some drink. All right.
Regather your thoughts.
Yeah.
Try to refocus.
Yep.
So let's see. As we kind of wait for our next here, I'll start from the top of the list here. Our lead group we didn't get to see. We've got Army and Joseph Megan with the 2 up lead group 12 and the coast coach Jeff Marshall. I think that's been a pretty match all day. Yeah, you can see kind of here. I would expect that to be a close match. Tyler Bowden very well right now. So he's had a little bit of a heater in the last 4 out of 5. We'll go 4 out of Jeff. It was close. But don't count Jeff out. He can come back. He's a skilled player. Colin Beal, who we led off with, is now 7 up through Nathan Walker, which means they're only a hole or 2 away from this match being over.
Yeah.
So Nathan's got a lot of work to do. But listen, we've seen crazier coming.
That's right.
So we'll see. On the Army side, Chong Yi is 1 up over Anthony Rigazoi. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Sorry if I mispronounced that, folks. That's a close match. Alfredo and Rick. Alfredo on the Navy side, 1 up through 10 with Rick. Pulling 1 back. Last time we saw him after that par 3 8th hole, which is good to see that match still tight. James Jackson on the Air Force side, 2 up through 10 on Anthony Miller on the Army side. Again, close match. Only 1 stroke given up here. So Anthony's got at least a couple holes to kind of get his mind back into the right place to try to catch up with James. Matt Bailey's giving 1 back to Gary on the Coast Guard side. Yeah. And so I'm sure Gary's trying to get some momentum back here in the rest of their back 9. Bart still moving forward. 6 up through 11 on Paul. Paul's got some work to do. He does have a pop on 13, so he might be able to utilize that to try to get back in the match. But he's got to make some happen here in the next couple of holes. Tim Heber of the Marine Corps, 2 up through 11 on Ed Simmons. Mark Landry of the Coast Guard, 1 up through 11. Alton Levine, we just saw that there, which was really nice. And as we go into break here, we're going to see on the next group Edwin Frieden of the Air Force, who's 3 up through 9, over Max Flowers on the Army side. And we'll get our first look at the Army team captain. Joyce Greenleaf is playing Navy. Navy's Robin Pierce. They are tied 3-9. So that's going to be a good match. So we're looking forward to seeing that here in a couple minutes as we take a break.
I'm good. How are you guys doing today? Good. Just think how much actually was lost on this one. You got your polling cards all the way around. Especially in this, because you've already paid for everything up front. I can understand going maybe into like yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. So it's, you're gonna charge me 120, and like I can walk for 60.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We've got a group rolling up the tee right now. As they get ready, I think it'd be a great opportunity, Joe, to talk a little bit about what's shaping up to be probably one of the biggest years for the VGA, right, in terms of our history. Obviously, this is the 5th iteration of the Army Cup. We're extremely proud of that. But we've got 2 big events coming at the end of the year, that have already happened, coming down the road, excuse me. So, National Championship, our premier event we watch, looks to be, we have here, make sure I have the right person teeing off. This looks like Edwin teeing off for the Air Force team.
Oh, good swing.
Yeah, good swing there.
Watching it come in.
On the left side there, I think. Oh, coming back. Great shot.
Wow.
Very nice shot.
Yeah. Looks like, I mean, that's, from my playing experience out here, yeah, you definitely want to be left of this pin, this one here. Just like I said, there is a ridge with this fake right over there that seems to catch the ball.
Yeah.
A lot easier, and it funnels it back to the right towards the pin.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we've seen from some players in the other groups before this, anything like at the pin or to the right,
it's dangerous.
Exactly, and they end up on the fog, and they're going to have to a putt back towards pole, and where it has to go back downhill. So
that's probably advice, honestly, Joe, that a lot of these players could take from a strategy perspective for most of these holes. If they play to the fat side of the green, kind of ignore the pin location, more than trying to target it or even be close to it. They take themselves away from the danger. And listen, it's a ton of pressure. When you see an opponent get on the green, you're like, oh, goodness.
Now I got it.
Yeah. Now I got to go after it.
Oh, here's Army Cap.
Yes.
Army Cap.
Yeah, Joyce Greenleaf stepping up here.
It's a little hybrid in hand.
Nice swing there.
Nice swing. Center, okay.
Okay. Yeah, so left side. But again, Joe, you can kind of see what you were just talking about. You see that big ridge there. She went a little bit long, which is why she is where she is. But filters everything.
That's right.
Filters everything back to the pin. So,
that's right.
Not a bad play. We're going to have, now we're going to see
her competitor
here with Robin Pierce. One down at the moment. Just off the hole on the last hole here, so we'll see what she does. That was like a nice one.
I think Robin probably saw, the door.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think she saw the door was open a little bit, so she went at it a little bit.
And listen, that is
deliberate. Yeah.
Like we were just saying, yes, it might be safer to that part of the green, but sometimes you're feeling it, you got to go for it.
That's right.
Because you put a lot more pressure.
Yeah, and you want to make it. You want to either
Make
catch up points. Yeah.
Absolutely right. Army here, Max Powers step up. He's currently 2 down to that one, so he needs to put a good swing on this one, Joe. Brought that one up high. That's fine.
That's good.
Yep.
On the green, and he's putting. So
3 on, 1 off, but not in the water. 3 over 1.
That's right. So
yeah. So what
Joyce is going to have a little bit of a tricky shot. The next shot, the back edge of that green, it's kind of like a little valley there, and so she's going to pitch up onto a shelf. That shelf end up having to drop down towards the pin, and that ball getting a lot of speed from up there.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Very, very, very delicate.
Yep. So as you were saying, obviously a national championship coming up this October.
10-year anniversary there.
That's right. Olympia Fields in Chicago. Had a chance to go up there, meet the staff, the course, the lodging venue, all first class. There are players who make it up there for that championship are going to be in for a tremendous treat. Playing the West Course, which is the same for 2 days. So
that's their championship course, right?
Yes, so it's just many legendary names etched the name on trophy there. BMW championship.
Jason Day, right?
And John Rahman as well.
Okay.
Gosh, a huge treat. Being able to stay at a casino resort, brand new, just opened up.
What's the name of that one?
Wind Creek, Wind River. Yeah, and phenomenal facilities there. I think our players are in a treat. All right, so here's Joyce.
Here's Joyce. This is the shot you were just talking about.
Exactly.
Joyce hit the ball.
Oh, that's tough. And listen, you could see there the way she was standing.
Yep.
She's probably got 54 sand wedge or maybe a wedge in hand, trying to get that just up over the hill.
Yep.
Such a severe slope.
Yeah.
It's going to pull to the left.
And there's a small plateau you have to land it on, and then let it feed.
Looks like now she's got her putter in hand, which I think is a great call going down this hill for her third shot.
Now this is going to break a little severe to her left now too, because as it drops,
Okay. Right, shot's good.
Slow down a little bit. Alrighty.
So that's going to come back for both, which is makeable.
Yep. Alrighty. The other 3 players, they
got birdie putts.
Yes.
First time we've seen 3 birdie putts.
They were all kind of clustered together. They were just loving the pins.
Yeah. Joe, you have a favorite member? Do you have a favorite hole out here?
I don't know. Gosh, it's hard to.
All right. All of them are great.
Yeah, they are.
Oh,
look
there's
at
a
that
birdie.
birdie.
What a great birdie.
Yeah.
20-foot rolled it in. Yeah.
Ah, little fist
Playing
bump.
better for
Fist bump,
great.
yeah.
That's got to feel good coming off the green. Yeah, there we go. Bobby of our CG team gets some fist bump in there, which is great.
Good roll.
Maybe we'll see another one here.
That's right.
Let's get an answer.
Yeah. Hopefully he saw the line. Because, again, they were all pretty much in the same area.
Gonna go. Yeah, that's what you just called. That was right. Yeah. Hard to see it go that far right. But listen, I think you have to take it away as a good par, right? Yep. It looks like Debbie was conceded, or excuse me, Robbins was conceded.
That's right.
From Royce, so they'll move on to the par 5 ninth, and we'll see. Next group's coming on up here. Let me get a refresh here of the scoreboard, make sure we're up to date. Good hole there for that.
It was. So, Kev, our other new premier event, VGA will be rolling out. Coming up, qualifier actually coming up here
next week. That's right, next week.
Over in Pinehurst, North Carolina, and we the Liberty Cup.
Right.
And gosh, what a list of names made it to that qualifier, and obviously the Liberty Cup will be hosted next summer, next July 4th weekend in Jersey City, New Jersey. Liberty National. You had an opportunity to visit the course there recently. I don't know. Tell me about your experience and the views that you got.
Well, listen, I think the word you used. Olympia Field was first class, and that is exactly what I would use a description experience of what I saw at Liberty National, both from the course itself, which is extremely difficult. I am glad that this particular national championship is going to feature our best players because they are going to need to bring their best. They are going to want to compete and be successful on this course. But with that said, right. It's also an incredible experience. As you just sitting right there across the river from New York City, getting views of not only the city but the Statue of Liberty, really inspires a lot of patriotic sentiment, feeling as you walk on there. And then you've got the whole Liberty national team. They're headed up by our friend Mike Brooks.
That's right.
Brooks, who's the director at the Liberty National Foundation. Got a good chance to talk with him when I was up there visiting. Players are in for an unbelievable experience. And interestingly enough, some of them are probably going to be competitors that have experienced this event also, which is a good experience because that event is going to be a mirror of this with our premier players.
Exactly.
And so really interested to see how that's going to play out, as you said, coming into next year's weekend.
All right.
Our next box here, so we're going to have looks to be Samuel Maxwell on the Army. He's moving down for 11 to Coast Guard's John McKinnon. As you can see, folks, he is a right leg amputee. It looks like he's elected not to take his tee box accommodation.
No.
Typically, we allow amputees to move one up. He has decided to tee off from the white tees. We'll see how this looks. Setting up for a big cut here.
Good swing.
Yeah, good.
Goes.
Off to the right in the trap. I don't think that's a bad miss.
No.
Given the way he was kind of set up, I think that's probably the shot shape he plays.
Yep.
And so we'll see how his playing does now. This will be Coast Guard's John McKinnon.
Okay, John looks like he's on the left of the green. That little.
Sorry, folks, I had the wrong name. We saw Army's Paul Flake tee off. Paul is 7 down for 11.
Oh no.
That was the green over the key right. Sorry, folks. Got little bit hard to distinguish the Coast Guard and Marine Corps. I got to look at the hat a little bit closer next time. This is going to be John McKinney here. Nice swing from John. One up right now. Looking for at least a shot in the middle. Oh, there we go. Yep. Backside. We've seen this.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few balls having that area.
Now, Joe, would you push? Was that puddle? Yeah, puddle spot, right?
I would. Just the fact that, as you see the color change, dark to light, you go downhill there, just, get the ball to chip up, right? So,
Yep. Oh, now we got Sam Maxwell teeing off the Army team, one down at the moment. Looks like he's going right at it, Jeff.
Yes. Oh.
Oh, he's going to pull that. That looks like it's going into the water.
That was a pretty quick swing there.
Pretty fast tempo there.
Yeah. I don't know if he liked that ball. He just wanted to send it off to early retirement. I don't know. Wasn't it? Exactly. May not have treated him on the last hole. Who knows? But now what do you do? He's
all right, so we know the one group's over. Be interested to see what what Sam decides to do there. If he's not feeling that shot, he may have just auto-conceded, which again, don't blame anyone for that because it's very, very difficult if you're not feeling confident over that shot, knowing you can go in the water. And it does look like probably stepping in to kind of remind them of what the rules are here, to make sure that they tee off and apply the rules of golf on whatever drop they decide to take.
And again, it's great that we do have rules officials and
Yep.
to be able to travel to our event, be able to act as rules officials, and it helps with our obviously. Right? Education for the players, and let them make a correct decision.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Joe, let me ask you about that. So with this tee shot, right, because it's the yellow stakes, if you're given the option of re-teeing or moving up on the line to as close as you can get, what are you going to do? What do you think? What do you think you would do? So it looks like here, Sam's deciding to walk off the tee box and move down closer to the hole, which potentially he's feeling a little bit unconfident with distance control, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he wants shorter. But listen, you folks can see it here. This is not easy turf to be off of.
No, and it's a little bit thicker, and you know what? Unless you're practicing short game out of the rough, I think a lot of people are more used to going to the driver range and hitting off mats or off grass. They're 130, 140 shots. Right? I would re-tee, do it again. I mean, if you have to club up one, right? Just so you know you're getting it over, right? Rather than try to finesse one. This brings me back to.
Did his ball? Oh, his ball did not go in.
Oh my goodness! Look at that! Look at those little Sunday pencil. Oh, that's gonna be a weird stance.
Oh,
that might be a little muddy stance. Yeah. Good thing it's 66 degrees, folks. Otherwise, there'd be some gators sunning themselves over there in that bank.
Yeah, I think we'd have a different decision.
Exactly.
Wow, listen, this is why we tune in, folks. Hero shot here.
Right, he's thinking
He's
about it.
Maybe a little bit backwards.
I don't know if he's thinking, "Should I take my shoes off?"
Yeah, a little Representative Bill Haas at the torch game.
Oh my goodness! I had to say it. The shoes come off, folks. Somewhere in that mud is
We got our VGA photographer down here getting ready to capture this moment. This is brilliant. I love this.
Dear Lord, please don't let me large, clicker freaking crawfish there. You know, just clamp down on a big toe or something like that. But look at that, showing a little bit of ankle.
Yeah, a little bit of grit. This is the Army team.
That's right.
Trying to win this cup. Love this. I love this.
All righty.
Man, John, I really thought this ball was deep, resting in the water right now.
Oh, there he's gauging it. Oh, man, that's about calf high, but
so
yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
backing up that hem a little bit further.
What's the play here, Joe? The play here is
pick up another.
Well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's either going to make this shot or this hole is over.
Yeah, because he's going to have to grip so far down that shaft. He's going to be like holding that hosel. Oh no. Yeah, come on. I want success.
I want this. Let's go.
Yeah, we want this on the green. Gosh, if it goes in the cup, even better. But this is going to be difficult. This is okay, and this is where life decisions are being made. All right, new club in hand. Here we are. Oh, looks like he's found something. Snapping turtle, something to stand on. Oh.
Yep.
Okay. He moved it to a little bit better lie.
A little better lie.
Whereas
He's gonna have an angle.
His feet are dry now. It's up.
Did he get it over there? Over to the left? Wow.
Okay.
I mean,
it's up and over.
Okay. Play in three. Maybe make a miracle bogey putt here, or chip or something.
Yeah.
But gotta hand it to our competitors here, folks. They wanted to win a tight match, so I do not blame him for trying to do his playing, sitting up there dry.
Well, good thing a very nice golf towel waiting for him.
That's right. Yeah.
Back at the cart.
Yeah, he's gonna need it. Dry off the feet, reset your mind, try to make this bogey chip.
Yeah, got some good close-up photos. Something, hopefully put that in a photo album back home.
Right.
That and get a chance to go back and watch this broadcast.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Paul.
There's Paul. Just got to get it out of the bucket.
That's right. Get it up there and get it on the green. Go to work.
Never a chance.
No, I don't think that can out. Yeah, you can see it rolling back.
I didn't sign a release for any of this, did I? Yes, sir.
Interesting. He had the right practice. You got to get a lot of speed to get these out, but he kind of stabbed at this one.
There it is.
There it is.
There we go.
First time.
Going. Oh, great shot. Yeah, that was one of the great.
Yeah. Now he's going to be scratching himself. That's why I did that the first time.
Yeah. That was a better one. I would guess that'll be either conceded. I would guess that'd be conceded. He'll probably mark it just as Martin does, but being that for bogey, partner's off the back, so a little bit of a light putt might get that in there. Great shot.
Very well.
Yep.
Boy.
Yeah, we'll mark for now. See how his playing partner Kia does. 7 up right now, as we said, it's stuck through 11 holes, so a lot of ground need to be covered. I think if Kia can lag this quite close, that's probably the end of the match, I would guess.
Yeah.
Like I said, hey, the second shot out over the ground. Come up here and get that. By the way, I just saw like you got the camera.
Oh, yeah. Tap.
I'm so excited. It's like, okay.
Yep, tapped in for his bogey.
Shoes are coming off now.
Knows he's in for his bogey. Up to Kia to decide how the rest of this goes. Looks like we have had our first final while we wait for the other folks to come up. Colin Beal takes the first 8 and 6 for the Air Force to get them on the board. Right behind them Bart Sittenberg had beaten Paul Tznuk of the Air Force, with the Marine Corps on the board. So points are starting to come in.
There we go. All righty. Well, still with the shoes off.
Yeah, he's probably going to need to hold that thing off for a little bit here.
You might enjoy playing barefoot. You know?
Well, if he chips this in, he might be barefoot the rest of the round.
Yeah, not.
Okay, chips away. Looks like he played it pretty far off to the left. Maybe a little bit, a little bit too far.
Yeah.
The ridge does push a little bit to the left. You don't catch it. So that's going to be for his double bogey. And his playing partner, I believe, is still only laying one, just off the back of the green.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, he knows. He just needs to get it up there close.
Yep.
Very nice.
Might go in.
Oh, look at that.
But
Yep.
I think that's probably a concession. Yes. Who knows? Some of our players never concede.
That's right.
Never give in.
Yeah, somewhere along the lines.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's a good par.
You know, make it out every single one.
Okay, key here. Long birdie putt will probably be for the match. Barely touched that. He must have a lot of slope. Yeah, you can see it there, folks.
Yep.
Ooh.
Speed there.
Yeah, 3-4 feet for his par.
Oh. They're gonna make a mark.
Okay, mark.
Okay. Wants to finish this off for a natural par.
There it is.
Sounds like
Great par.
good
That
par.
and match. Another 8 and 6. Another point on the board for the Marine Corps.
Wow. Gives the Marine Corps 2.
Yep.
Out. Good for these guys.
Yep.
Oh, let's see, Colin Veal out of Nebraska, earning a point for his team. That's outstanding.
Yeah, it's listen, gotta feel good to get a point on the board, but then also to have the point done early, right? Because you're not stressing on the match going into the final hole like that, so you can kind of just focus on, reset your mind, enjoying the rest of the day, obviously. Because you can still have fun golf, but get the mind ready for the next day. Tomorrow's going to even be more pressure.
So I had a chance to visit the Veal household last year, I believe, and he is quite the character. But using a lot of his military background and logistics. Yeah, he's got this war room in his house. It's like his VGA war room.
No, really?
He's got binders in there. Yeah, and board and.
Oh my goodness!
So he knows. Yeah, spreadsheets, everything, and it's like, obviously, calendar dates of events. Armed Forces Cup point standings. Not just on him, but on the people that he's got to play to get in. So he knows, like Kyle Smith is playing, on this course, so man, this guy's gonna be playing here. That's potential points for this guy, and so Colin's like strategic. I mean, he's going all out. He's got this binder. I'm telling you, and I was like, this guy's in it.
Well, that's great. I mean, listen, and Joe, I really think that story kind of encapsulates what the season-long chase really actually is for a lot of these guys. I think it's more the journey than it is the final information with this event. Certainly, as we said, like this event is certainly, in my opinion, the premier event that we put on from an experience perspective because it meshes the camaraderie with the competition so well. But you're highlighting just how important each regular season event is to these folks. You know, I would like to talk to Colin about that experience a little bit because, I mean, that is beyond dedication to not only know what you got to do, but what every other playing competitor out there is doing.
Yep.
You are married to the game of golf, that's for sure.
Yes, and for the armed forces, right? You know, it's this little war room and those 3-ring binders in there, you know, and okay, wow.
Unbelievable.
But
Unbelievable.
you know, but to see him, you know, when he arrived, you know, I was like, oh, you know, and all that work, you know, that he put into
It paid off.
Yeah, paid off. You know, he's here, you know, and guess what? He's got a point on the board.
The first point.
Yeah. Yeah, you know. Yeah.
All right, so let's see. As we kind of wrap up here in the next 30 minutes or so, we'll get you another leaderboard update here quickly. I was correct. The Marine Corps has put another point on the board with Nikita Gray closing out Paul Flick on that last hole. So he's got to feel pretty good about that. Our next groups are in, at least one of them is pretty tight. With Chris Thielman, one up over Jacob Miller. Chris on the Marine Corps side, one up over Jacob Miller, 11. Ray Brown is having a great day. He is 5 up through 11 over Marty Dixon. Ray representing the U.S. Air Force, Marty representing the Navy. So we'll take a look at how they're doing here in a minute. We do have some updates here. Shelly Ellers on the Navy side, great performance today. 7 up through 10. Has really turned it on here in the last 5 or 6 holes, taking 5 of the last 6 holes. So she is on fire right now. As we kind of go back up the leaderboard to our earlier matches, still a tight one between Joseph Hagan and Jeff Marshall. They're Joseph on the Army side, 1 up through 13. Tyler's continuing to roll moving forward for the Coast Guard, 4 up through 13 over Jeff of the Marine Corps. We already talked about Colin's 8-6 win over Nathan to get a point on the board for the Air Force. Chong Yi and Aaron tied. Just Chong Yi just won a hole, 1 up for 14. Looks like Alfredo's got a little bit of momentum moving into 13th hole, 3 up through 12. James Jackson's starting to turn on a little bit, 4 up through 12. So lots of action happening right now. And we'll be back here in a moment to pick up with Jake Miller and the group coming up to the next hole.
Hi, my name is Josh Payton, and I'm the president of the Veteran Golfers Association. I would like to take a moment to personally welcome you to our VGA family. As a VGA member, you'll have access to over 300 local golf tournaments per year to compete against other veterans and their family members. Additionally, you'll have the opportunity, like thousands of other VGA members nationwide, to qualify for our national championship each fall. This experience would not be possible without our sponsors and the tireless dedication of hundreds of volunteer state and regional VGA directors on your behalf. So please thank them for their hard work when you get the chance to do so. Although the VGA is a competitive golf league, the spirit of this organization is more about camaraderie than it is the competition. I would like to wish you the best of luck on your quest to become a VGA champion, but more importantly, I encourage you to meet new battle buddies along the way. While you're out on the golf course with other VGA members, take an opportunity to shake their hands and thank them for their service, like I'm taking this opportunity to thank you for yours. Again, welcome to our VGA golfing family. It truly is more than just a game.
All right, folks, welcome back. We've got our last group of featured coverage today coming up. It's going to be a tight match between the Marine Corps' Chris Thielman and Navy's Jacob Miller. Chris is currently one up as of the last hole, as far as we can see, Joe.
That's right.
So very close match there. Oh,
just
as I
updated.
said, it's tied.
Uh-oh.
So we're gonna see how this works out here on this hole. Ray Brown 4 up from Ray Dixon. So Ray did give one back on that last hole as well. So I think we're gonna see some good golf here.
I have to give Chris a little bit of a shout out. He was very kind and generous to be able to travel from Texas here to Augusta with Chassion to help deliver the caddy wagon.
Oh, great.
It had some mechanical issues out in the Dallas area. It was requested to be on site during the Medal of Honor Museum opening.
Yep.
And had some issues. And then, Chris drove it all the way here from Dallas. So
Marty Dixon teeing off. He actually did get 2 back on the last 2 holes, so he's going to tee off first for his match between Brown. Smooth swing there.
Yeah, swung with some confidence. Man, that just got 2 back. That's great.
Yeah, that's pinned high on the right side. Again, that's one of the few that we've seen over there.
Yeah.
So we need to see how that putt goes. Ray's going to tee up next. I'll tell you, if there's anyone at this event who represents the excitement about being here, it's Ray Brown. I was saying earlier today, Ray, very tight qualifying match with his fellow Air Force and team captain Jerry Kilmartin, which ended up going Jerry's way. Jerry turned around and elected to bring Ray down as captain, which is a great pick, right? Because not only is Ray a fierce competitor, but he's a great person. He's one of the guys who really wants to see the Air Force team come together as a team, right, and work together, even though this is individual match play, right? Having that support, texting each other. I know they did a team dinner the first night we were down here.
That's
so,
right.
Just a great all around. As we see Jacob Miller for the Navy step up, he's the Navy captain first year. He's extremely proud about that, and we'll feel pretty good here as well. I will say that's one of the first competitors that we've seen Joe tee it up on the right side of the tee box, which leads me to believe that, I played with Jake. You can see the ball kind of rolling there. He does play with a bit of a cut when he plays.
Okay.
Very strategic, knowing he needs to get that ball started left, going back to the center of the green, which to get him up on the green, which is a great shot. Finally, here we got Chris, Marine Corps. Nice swing there.
Staring it down.
Oh, that's came in low. Yep.
That's fine. Yep.
Looks like we've got at least 3 on the green, or close to the green. 2 right there, in the middle, which is good shots, and that first one we saw off to the right. So we can see why that's a tight match.
Yeah. Ray's ball just on the green, first third. Left over.
Yeah.
Got it up there.
Yeah, that'd be my only question. Ray's the only one that we didn't see up. I don't think we saw him go down the hill. So he might be going up. Oh, they're looking over to the right there.
Who's live right now?
And we'll see here in a minute what they decide to do.
Uh-oh. Is that Monty over there doing the search?
Yeah, it looks like on our other camera. There we go. Monty's taking a look there. That might be trouble for Ray. Goodness, hope we don't have another get into the water situation here.
That's right. Tall as Ray is, I have to put some little pool noodles around his arm.
Yeah, it looks like Monty's saying it. They may have had eyes on it, but as you know, with the wet conditions, particularly if the balls are coming in low and hot, they can get embedded and you lose them quick.
For some reason, I thought Ray had a swing on it. It was on the green. Let's see. Oh, look at that.
Oh my goodness! Is that on the rock?
No, that's not even that. That is living on the edge there, buddy.
That's definitionally living on the edge.
Yeah. Oh. God.
What a great shot you got here.
Yeah, I'm a little envious that the ankles that can articulate like that. I got one in the pass, and I'll see a prosthetic on the other. So
this could be a hero shot for Ray. Got to be careful he doesn't damage his club
or fall in.
Yep, great shot.
Good one, Ray. Look at
that. I mean, just even getting contact on that ball.
Yeah, Ray.
Yep.
The good thing is he used those U.S. kids iron. They're pretty expensive to buy.
I want the record that it wasn't me saying these things. And listen, I will tell you, Joe. Ray has said to me, if he ever gets a chance to get you in match play, you're the one he wants.
I believe that. I played with Ray.
Have you?
Yeah, we played up up in
Okay.
West Virginia.
Good.
You know, it was a good day for me.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Yeah. What are you, 230 down the middle?
Yeah, you know, I just played golf. You know, and you know, we had a good time. I love Ray.
That's good. That's good. See,
Look
Marty
at this.
Dixon coming down the hill now.
Oh, that's a good putt.
That's a very
That's
good
it.
putt.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good putt.
Yeah. Just enough to make him mark. I'm willing to bet he's going to pick that up if this next putt is close. We'll see. Oh, well, we have 2 birdie putts. What, 2 par putts coming up. So, still some scores to be made here.
Who put that there?
Looks like Jake Miller's going to go next
The
here.
guy who created all the hazards have to pick them up.
Looks to be
Tell you what we'll do is we'll just
25, 30 feet
throw
maybe.
you down,
That's
roll,
fine. You know what? He's putting straight up at him.
Distance controls everything here with your playing partner and close. That's away.
Oh,
Could be good.
Oh, look at that.
Yep. Close to, if not inside.
Can you mark it?
Oh, we're going to mark.
Yep.
Competition.
Hey, Chris is
Yeah, so Chris has got to be next. Yep. Okay. This is Jake's playing partner here. He's going to move his ball out of the way. Chris's line. So down the hill moving to the right. Oh.
Yep. It'll move to the right towards the water.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
That's the way it started high enough. He's going to get it. Oh, he's going to get it.
Look at that ring.
Oh, what a putt.
Look at that. Yeah,
What a putt.
little spin celebration.
Oh,
there.
yeah. Spin fist pump.
Yeah.
Take that all day. That's gonna bring him to 1 up. Back to 1 up. I think that probably feels pretty good after he lost the last hole. Okay, Ken Ray capitalized. This would be an all-world par.
That's right.
All right, putts away. He's giving it a run. Oh, what a great putt. Just burns the left edge.
Right.
I think you got to be happy with that putt.
That's
You know,
right.
after that,
Yep.
giving the
Partner
ball
out
away.
to the way.
Yeah, for Bogues.
Yep. He didn't leave it short.
Yep.
This time. So, you know, hats off to Ray and Jim being there. You know, they do that special event for the ladies.
Yeah.
You know, members.
Yep.
And you know, hopefully that we're getting more participation with that. So that's neat.
Oh no!
Oh,
Had to have that. That was going to bring the match 4 up to 3 up. And that's going to keep Ray at 4 up. That's a tough.
that is
Tough miss
you had him right there.
for Marty Dixon.
Yeah, you you know, off they go to 9.
Yep. 9. Yep.
Yep.
All right, folks, that's going to wrap our coverage for today, Joe. It's always a pleasure chatting with
Yeah,
you.
they're great.
We'll be back tomorrow. We're not entirely sure of the time. We're going to be a bit earlier tomorrow, depending on weather, of course. We've been very lucky today. The rain has held off, and we're hoping that's going to be the case for tomorrow as well. But saw some golf, saw
right.
some challenging golf,
Yeah.
saw some grit, saw
Yeah.
some
close matches out there.
yeah, some really close matches. And like we said at the beginning, if anyone wants to check in on the scores, they can find our live stream on Facebook. We do look forward to seeing everyone back on the live stream tomorrow afternoon for the conclusion of the 2025 VGA Armed Forces Cup Champions Retreat Golf Club.
All right.
Till tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, everyone.